on in Bojo Kanawea, Mr. McLeod Mondiamina, Bajinaka Queen Monim. I just want to let you guys know that links to the dictionary, PDFs to the worksheet, audio files are in links in the description of this video, as well as any other resources that'll help you out with this lesson will eventually be there as soon as I'm done making them. Aho, miigwech. On in Bojo, Mr. McLeod Mondaya. And so today's lesson is an introduction to VAI morphemes. So this is an introduction to root words. So we're learning how to put words together in Ojibwe today. So refresher. So what is morphology? So morphology is the understanding of how words are formed through manipulation of prefixes and suffixes, inflections, also known as conjugations, and morphemes. So morphemes are just another way of saying root words. So morphemes in Ojibwe refer to different qualities and aspects, but as root words, they cannot stand on their own as independent words, usually. So here I've indicated the points to write down for your notes. I'll give you a chance to pause here, and then we'll move on. All right, let's move on. So Nishnaabemwin word formations. So Nishnaabemwin morphology in relation to morphemes is similar to our understanding of Latin words. So in Latin, we understand that arachnophobia can be broken down like so. Arachnid means spider, and phobia means fear of. So altogether, arachnophobia means a fear of spiders. So Nishnaabemwin words can be broken in a similar way to this. So Nishnaabemwin words are formed with 2 to 3 morphemes, also known as root words. There are 3 types of morphemes. The first is called initials, the second, medials, and the last is called finals. Initial morphemes are descriptive and adjective-like in nature, referring to physical traits. Medial morphemes are reserved for nouns and can refer to orientation related to natural objects. That just means something being stick-like, blanket-like, made of liquid, something being done by hand, etc. And our final morphemes determine the type of verb we're using, whether that's VII, VAI, VTI, or VTA, and determine our ender for each type of those verbs. So here I've indicated the points to record in your notes. We'll give you a chance here to pause the video to write these down. Alright, let's move on. So simple rules for Nishnaabemwin morphology. So here are some basic rules to introduce you to root words in Nishnaabemwin. So rule number 1, be aware of the noun suffix connector when incorporating them into your morphology. So if your noun has the Y suffix connector, replace the Y with an II at the end of your noun. So for example, Zesab has a suffix connector Y as indicated right here. So when we add the final Ike, we're going to replace the Y and the I with a double I sound. So now we're left with Zesbike, which means she or he makes or gathers ropes. Notice how we got rid of the Y and the I in Ike to form Ike. Alright, so if a noun has the suffix connector, capital W, replace that capital W with an O sound at the end of your noun. So for example, the word for cooking pot is kik in Ojibwe, and it has a capital W suffix connector. So we're going to replace the W and the I sound from Ike with a single O to make our verb. So here, when we've done that, we have kikoke, she or he makes or gathers pots. So rule number 2, if a noun's morpheme ends in an O sound or has a W suffix connector and is followed by a vowel sound from a medial or final,
You have to change the O to a W sound, or just maintain your W suffix connector from your noun. So for example, gidig is our word for knee in Ojibwe, and it has a capital W suffix connector. Now when we combine these root words, we'll notice here that gidig is followed by a vowel sound with an E there. So when we add the E, we're going to keep our W suffix connector to maintain the structure of Ojibwe morphology. So bok plus gidigwe, bok gidigwe, means she or he has a broken knee or broken knees. Alright, so how can we use our knowledge of morphemes in Nishnaabemwin? So now that we know how to form words, we can utilize our nouns in a variety of different ways to better describe animals, insects, people, mythological figures, aliens, what have you. So how many legs does a human have versus a pirate with a peg leg, or a dog or a bee? These can sound very alien-like in natural circumstances, but these are things that are in nature already. We'll be able to talk about certain body parts being colored in certain ways, describing parts of being, whether they're big or small. We can express where someone is specifically injured or sore. So how do we talk about things we've never seen before? We describe them, and that's what we can use these root words for, describing things we haven't seen before. So, neo and ke anene. So this is a word or a sentence I made up. So neo comes from our numbers, neo in. So neo is 4. Nk comes from our Ojibwe word nik, which means arm, and e is just a verb maker. So this sentence means neo and ke anene means the man has 4 arms. Which is, for you video game players, this should be a familiar character. It's Goro. Goro Jinkaza. Alright, let's try some more. So, ngud deshkane abeshgonji. Ngud deshkane abeshgonji. So, ng refers to 1. Deshkan, horn or antler. Beshgonji, horse. So, the horse has 1 horn. What horse has a single horn? A unicorn. So, nijgwane abeshgonji. Again, we're talking about a horse. Nij means 2. Guan refers to wings. So the horse has 2 wings. What kind of horse has 2 wings? A Pegasus. Last one here. This one demonstrates how much of a geek Mr. McLeod can be. So, nijdone abmshiganebik. Nijdone abmshiganebik. So, nij again is 2. Don, mouth. Mshi, great. And ganebik, snake. So, the great snake has 2 mouths. So, great snake can also be interpreted as a dragon. And so, what kind of dragon has 2 mouths? Slifer, the sky dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! Has 2 mouths. And so from here, I just used Ojibwe to talk about manga and anime and video games. So useful initials and finals related to numbers. So in here, we have our initials and our finals, and in the middle, in pink, is the medials, where you can insert your own nouns. So nga blank she or he has 1. So nga kade, she or he has 1 leg, like that pirate we talked about. Nij blank nij kade, she or he has 2 legs, like most people. Insa blank she or he has 3. So in swab de, she or he has 3 teeth. Now you're wondering, when could someone ever have 3 teeth? Well, when babies are teething, at one point they could have 3 teeth. So neo blank she has 4 whatever. So neo kade, she or he has 4 legs, like dogs or cats. Nano blank So non-wabde, he has 5 teeth. Again, like babies when they're growing their own teeth. Ngudwasa blank e. So ngudwas de, he has 6 legs, like the insects we know. Nijwasa blank e. Nijwas swab de, he has 7 teeth. Nshwas blank e. He has 8 whatever. Nshwas de, he has 8 legs, like those arachnids. Zhangsa blank e. So Zhang swab de, he has 9 teeth. And lastly here, Ndasa blank e. She has 10 whatever. So Nda swab de, he has 10 teeth. And so here I've indicated our usual signal to jot down all on the screen for your notes. So I'll give you a chance to pause here so you can write these down in your notes. All right, let's move on. So some more useful initials and finals related to colors. So mska blank e, he has red. So mska ka de, he has red legs. Jaushka blank e, he has blue whatever. Jaushko ka de, he has blue legs. Jaushko blank e, he has green whatever. Jaushko's de, he has green feet. Mkadel blank e, he has black whatever. Mkadel guane, he has black wings. Zhao blank e, Zhao konge, he has a yellow beak. Zhao blank e, she has orange. Zhao zide, she has orange feet. Zhao blank e, she has brown whatever. Zhao wab de, she has brown teeth. And wabshka blank e, she has white whatever. Wabshkwab de, he has white teeth. So again here, I'll give you a chance to record these in your notes and give you a chance to pause. All right, let's move on. Useful initials and finals for descriptors. So geekje blank elje, she has cold whatever. Geekjes delje, she has cold feet. Gzeeb blank e, she has itchy whatever. Gzeeb gade, she or he has itchy legs. Gagij blank e, she has an injured whatever. So Gagij ninji, he has an injured hand or hands. Deo blank e, she has a sore whatever. Deo shkijgue, she has sore eyes. Bok blank e, she has broken whatever. Bok jange, she has a broken nose. Goss blank e, she has a small. Goss jange, she has a small nose. Mcha blank e, she has big whatever. So mcha yab de, she has big teeth. Ginwako blank e, he has a long whatever. So ginwako ka de, he has long legs. And deko blank e, she has a short. So deko ka de, she has a short leg or short legs. And dakwanwe, he has a short tail. So again, we have the sign for recording all these in your notes. So I'll give you a chance to pause to record these in your notes. All right, let's move on. All right, so changing sounds. So when combining morphemes, some sounds change based on what follows. So when we have our Y suffix connector followed by an E, we combine the two to form a double I sound. So bok ninj plus we change that to bok ninji, she has a broken hand. So again, record these all in your notes. Give you a chance to pause here. All right, let's move on. So when an O sound changes to a W sound, So we're using the morpheme msk, which is red. So an followed by a consonant sound. For example, msk ninji. So our N sound is our consonant sound. It is made with a closed mouth and or teeth. So msk ninji means she or he has red hands. So we keep the O sound. Next, if an O is followed by a W or a vowel sound. So for example, msk plus ob de. So again here, we have our double A sound here, which is a vowel sound, which we make with an open mouth or teeth. Ah. So we change that O to a W sound. Squab de, for she or he has red teeth. Again, time to record this all in your notes, so I'll give you a chance to pause here and record these in your notes. Alright, let's move on. So lesson recap. So morphology is the study of word formations and understanding how prefixes and suffixes and morphemes affect their meaning. Interesting body terms as morphemes that we should be aware of. For tail, we can use zo, but speakers tend to prefer the morpheme anu, A-A-N-W. Also, wee bit is our word for tooth. The preferred morpheme is abd, A-A-B-D. The word for feather or wings, or the word for feather is migwan, but the morpheme we use for feather or wings is guan. And attaching the ike to a noun expresses a making or gathering of the noun. So for example, gigon plus ke or ike is gigon ke, which means she or he is fishing or gathering fish. And so here I've indicated the important points to write down in your notes. I'll give you a chance to pause here and record them in your notes. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so morphemes are root words in Nishnaabemwin and can be separated in 3 classes. So initial morphemes are descriptive and adjective-like in nature, referring to physical traits. Medial morphemes are reserved for our nouns and can refer to orientation related to natural objects. So again, something being stick-like, blanket-like, liquid-like, or by hand, etc. And finals determine the type of verb, whether VII, VAI, VTI, VTA, and its ender. So some sounds are important to take note of for their ability to change depending on their sound and what follows them. So they are O versus W. So O sound is followed by a consonant sound, and a W sound is followed by a vowel sound. Mise aja miigwech besindweeg. That's it for now, and thank you all for listening to me.